YouTube. But Pixels is here. He knows how to do it too. Okay, we're ready.
Surprise, surprise, everybody. We're here.
It's another Sunday fun day. We're making it. I did not get a chance to brief Daddy very much because he jumped in here and we kind of went pretty quickly. Uh-oh. What's going on my screen? All I see is the 5x5 thing. What's happening?
I'm trying to figure it out. Hold on.
Hang on. I can change the thing. Well, see, guys, this is all what it looks like live, folks. Here, I get it. Boom. There we go. Gotcha. I got it.
Now we're here.
Okay. So, sorry. See, as you know, there's a lot of stuff been going on. We're lucky to still be here. We're grateful for it. We have to watch a few things that we say. So, Daddy, if you start to say something, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. It's because I'll talk to you about it later. And we're just glad to be here. We're very, very grateful for the fact that we are. And that's all I can say about it. I think everybody, if you don't know, there's been a kind of an apocalypse going on. And I'm going to leave it at that. And we're just, again, grateful that we still have a place to talk to you guys. Woohoo! How y'all doing?
Hello, and it's Susie Pixels. Let me tell you something. I see a picture of you the other week. I see a picture with you with a certain individual who I won't name because his channel's no longer there, just in case it causes a problem. Oh. And you had the most superb suit on and tie and all that. I just thought, that's the absolute nuts. I liked it.
Well, thank you. Did you see the second one?
What was the second one?
Oh, man, you're going to freak. Hold on. Let me see if I can find something. Continue on. I got to find a picture here.
No, yeah, well, and you can, we're trying to be, I really don't even know how they're doing this. Honestly, there's so many different things that are going on where they're taking things apart. And again, I appreciate everybody out there kind of I hate silence and speech. I hate telling people not to say certain things. I really, really do. But right now, we're just trying to stay alive. And I hope that if enough things are filed against them um, um, legally, that they'll stop this and then we can get back to normal. But right now, is all you can tell. A lot of really, really great people are struggling right now, and they know, several of them know they have a home here. If they need it, they're more than welcome to come here and pop on and say hi to you here. But I'm just grateful y'all understand that right now it's a war, not a battle. So, and we're in the middle of it.
And just to let everyone know, I mean, we're still gonna do our best to cover the news. And of course, the news that you're not going to hear on, your mainstream media networks. We just have to be more careful about how we go about it. We can't do it as directly as we normally would. Our favorite Anon essentially has to be treated as Voldemort. Can't say his name.
Yeah, it is. It's like the unspoken one, like a no name, but in the opposite direction. Talking about somebody
Exactly.
good. I can't say it. How you doing, Breaking?
We shall just call him the One.
The One. I like it.
That's good. That's what we use. We'll say the
you
One.
have to use an effect every time you use it. The One.
There you go. I need to get a reverb master.
He's getting good at this, isn't he? I think I've got all that on my Stream Deck. Is that what you've got it on a Stream Deck?
So I don't have a Stream Deck, but I've got like a Yamaha. It's an AG03 mixing console.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, it's a nice little thing. Anyways, here's that picture for you, Daddy.
Good.
There I am. That old glory.
Very
Fantastic.
snazzy.
Look at that.
I mean, you can't say he's not patriotic.
Where does one find it? I was going to say, where does one find a jacket like that?
And is that you, Pixels, on the right with a camouflage shorts on? Yeah.
No. I'm the guy.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me, Daddy? You're so horrible.
No, listen. Let me tell you something. That shirt, just everything about that is the nuts. I like that.
It's the nuts.
That is making a statement like you have never made before. I love it. I'll tell you. That is true Americanism. You're making a proper statement there, and I love it.
Amazing.
That's it.
Who's standing beside him, though, in the camouflage is a really great guy. He's the one that put that event, together. This is the second one that Pixels has been to that he's done. And a shout out to JR for all that he's trying to do to bring Patriots together. So he couldn't be compared right now to a better person. JR's a really great guy.
He is.
Yeah. No, I mean that's all. Like I say, fantastic. I love it. And the other one I see, obviously, with you with the other person as well. I don't suppose you've got that one to show, have you? Or have you?
I think I do. Yeah, hold on. It's on
His
my Twitter.
pixelated jacket. Oh, I'm just so glad to see all y'all out there. Daddy surprised me today. Pixels was going to do something. Breaking got back. I was like, all right. And I said, Daddy, do you have stuff you want to go over? He said, I just want to let everybody know we're still here. I was like, you know what? That's a good reason to do a Sunday roundtable. We are still here, folks.
Here you go, Daddy Dragon. Is that the one you were talking about before?
That's it. That's the one. That is the absolute nuts, I'll tell you. I think that is superb.
Look at Red Pill Snazzy shoes.
I know. They're awesome. They're totally
Those
awesome.
are cool.
It reminds me of the background that he has on his streams. Like the color scheme of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost exactly.
Where did you get that jacket?
There's a company called Oppo Suits. And there's a story behind that jacket, and actually, it came as a whole suit, like jacket, tie, and pants that matched. But I couldn't get the pants on, and I blamed the quarantine and my extra carb intake, for that one. But
it's the COVID non-diet plan.
Yeah, but I got that suit when I turned 21. Because I was planning on going to Vegas for like a week and I wanted a crazy suit to wear. And I was in Kohl's one day, literally freaking Kohl's, which is like your run of the mill place you go to buy clothes here in America, Daddy Dragon, if you don't know.
Yeah.
And it was up on a display, and I had to buy it. I couldn't not. So
Well, that would have been a pretty conservative dress if you've ever been out to Vegas and seen any of the outfits some people wear out there. So
there are like dancing girls in the street who think that paint can be a substitute for a shirt.
yes.
Fun times.
Well, that sounds like my type of place. Hang on, let me just show you something then. Let me see if I can find this. I don't know if I can find it on the line now. I took it down a couple of seconds ago.
Ray Edmonds just told me that my jacket looks like it's from the premiere countdown screen. Yeah, it's pretty much, yeah.
Well, and I'll have to say too that thanks for all the love. Like, is it Ian? I believe, says glad you're still here. Zen says I'm very grateful 5x5 is still here. All the, like Maria says, the blessings to us. Like, again, and guys, thank you for being patient, because especially our supporters, like, you know, even our Patreons, people like that still help the channel, knowing that the content, you know, we've been not put out as much as we have lately. It's going to be a ride here for the next couple of weeks, and I just appreciate that you guys are still on it with us, because it really does take a village, and we just appreciate the support, seriously.
Let's just say if we're on this particular platform, we'll pretty much be PG. However, when it gets dark out and you flip the switch on the other platforms, we're going full rated R. And so, yeah, we'll head over to Tiger Network. I did a broadcast over there today, just kind of dip the toe in the water. Hopefully you guys caught it. And in that case, we'll be unleashed. We're not going to hold any bars. We're not going to self-censor or any of that BS. We're going to just tell it like it is. And we'll do the same here.
Just to let you know, I'm on that, but I'm not sure if mine's still working or not. So I might have to.
Yours was. Yours went right before We the People Insiders did here today. I caught a little bit of it.
And it was working.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Mojo. Listen, it said, Nikki said where? I'm going to drop the link to what Breaking did today, because I caught it. He did it for We the People Patriot Insider 412's channel. And there it is. It's the Torah, the Tiger Network. So that's the link to it right here.
So the way that works right now, folks, if you don't know, we do have channels set up there, but really it's tough to find until you actually do a broadcast. If you try to just go look for a channel, it's going to show no content. So today literally was the inaugural broadcast I did for We the People Insider. You can go and actually find the channel from that broadcast. It should come right up as like some of the more recent ones. You'll see Daddy Dragon there and a number of others, Patriot Soapbox as well. But until you actually do an inaugural broadcast, whether it be 5x5, WTPI, Daddy Dragon, whatever, they're real tough to find. So what we'll probably have to do here before long is do a quick little broadcast over there just to get acclimated, and we'll get that out there and just make sure you bookmark all your favorites in that over there.
Yeah. And just to let everyone know, the same people that have created Torah Free are the same people that created
8kun.
Was it
8kun?
8kun. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And
Nikki just asked, is there a way to get notifications?
Yes, there are, right underneath the video once it's scheduled. And I'm not exactly clear on this, folks. So Daddy Dragon, you've been over there for about a week and a half or so doing some broadcasts and that. But when you set up a broadcast over there, I think there's a checkbox underneath there once you give it a name, description, and all that, and that it broadcasts like an hour later. Is that right?
Well, so what it does, there's a check thing.
Right.
They restream, and then an hour after your stream finished, it comes back up, and then people can see it and restream it. So inside the element that you press the button to, you know. So first of all, it's not like currently it doesn't accept. So I use Wirecast. right, which is, for want of a better word, a professional broadcasting platform with loads of other bits and pieces that it does. And within that, I also use Restream. The problem is that Restream doesn't interact yet with Tora Free. What Restream have said to me, because I contacted them, if people request to us that they want Tora Free as part of it, then we'll do it. It won't take us long, but we need people to say we want to be part of Restream, Tora Free to be part of it. That means that once you set up your video titles, they all go out as one. Yeah,
Right.
And that because currently I have to keep going back into Tora Free and change the title, and if I forget, it goes out. So the last video I did with a title on there, that will keep being repeated. That title, not the actual broadcast.
Well, that's good to know then, because, you know, the more of us that get over there and start broadcasting, is get a little bit of a groundswell behind us, obviously, the better off it'll be, because, you know, we've talked about this for the folks that got purged and whatnot. Perhaps they didn't get set up on DLive and Twitch and all these other platforms like we have, but that'll just be yet another avenue that we have aside from those that we already do, should something happen on the YouTube side.
Yeah. And I looked into trying to do like a mini version of this platform. I had a Dutch looked into it for me, and it was the expense of trying to have the bandwidth where people could live stream multiple shows and actually store them. You know, it takes a lot, and it's not cheap. So
the other person who already created that was Gary Bird, and he said it would cost about $2,000 to set it up, and he asked people to donate to do it, and it would have been a platform for us all to share. Just again, re-emphasizing this, you've already got a group of people that are not interested in your content. They are only interested in allowing you to deliver your message, whatever that message may be, right? And that is Tora Free. We already know that we trust them because of Aiken and other bits and pieces. We already know Jim and his son. They're not frightened of these people in this system. He's already been and answered questions in Congress because they demanded he be there. So we went, yeah, not a problem. I'll go and talk to you. He's also, as far as I know, an ex-Marine, trained in technology by the military, and he's on our side. So for me, Tora Free is a platform that you can trust that they're not going to mess about with it. They're just going to put it up there, and if the other lot don't like it, they'll do everything they can to stop it. But apart from that, we're up there. The second thing I'll say to people is, and I've said this to many people, I'll put it in there, my email address anyway, right? But so I have currently got set up an email address list, right, or a send list to, that if anything goes on to these, it will notify people, and my website is still up, right? So just to give you an indication, if you sent to graham.moore@protonmail.com, you send an email to that address and put in the subject, add me to your email list. And what that means is that when I do broadcasts, whether it's on Tora Free or whether it's on my own channel, by pushing the videos back up to there as well, everyone will still be able to see it that wants to be able to see it. Now, both platforms obviously are nowhere near what YouTube is, but we can't do anything about what YouTube's doing and what they've done to us. I do believe that there's people in the American administration currently who are constitutionalists that are looking at the current situation and will bring them to some form of justice, because they can't build platforms and say they're not editors and be protected and all these things and have all these tax breaks and then use it against constitutionalists, which is what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
That it's as simple as that, and that is what they're doing, and they are Marxists, and I think you're going to see something happen.
Well,
Absolutely.
one more thing to add to that is don't discount Gab either at this point. If you're not on Gab, I would encourage folks to get over there. One of the things that Andrew Torba and company are doing over there, aside from, just the social media side of things, aside from having a encrypted chat and groups and all that stuff behind the scenes, but they are going to be bringing a competitor to replace something like YouTube here in the very near future as well. And it will require contributors net to up their ante. They will have to become Gab Pro, and it's not a bad thing to do that, but you don't have to be have a Gab Pro account to view those who are contributors and content providers, creators, and that sort of thing over there to view this stuff. So I think one of these days I'm going to have to actually just get a hold of Andrew and try and do an interview on one of these channels here before long, just to kind of feel him out as to what sort of timetable we're looking at here. But yeah, there's big things coming. It's anti-Silicon Valley because we know that they are despots at this point. They're bought, they're owned, and they have towed the line for China.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's move on to some news. We have talked about this for several days, so I know there's a lot of stuff been going on, and you guys probably have a lot to say. By the way, congratulations again to Daddy, because he's been out and about being Mr. English journalist. Don't think I've been paying attention to you on Twitter and on your channel. I'm just proud of you.
Well, let me just show it off again.
Oh, he's done it. You done showed us. He's gonna show it again.
What's this rumor I heard Daily Mail was calling you?
The Daily Mail.
Yeah.
Hey, nice.
You have got a English Press Association membership number, and it's backed by a union, and there it is. The Press. Yeah, there it is.
Was it the Daily Mail or was it the Sun that was calling you, trying to get you aboard?
No, funny enough, we've got we have actually, joking aside, we've got a number of journalists that are now contacting us. One of the things that I want to express to everyone, and I'll do this quickly, but it's really good that Laura's just brought that up. We all know that the media, the mainstream media, are the enemy, right? Some people, and I would say quite a lot of people within that environment, don't agree with what they're doing, can now see what they're doing, don't agree with what they're doing to President Trump, don't agree with what they're doing with England and the British are doing to the English. And I believe, and the reason I believe this is because people are now contacting me, that are ex, shall we say, British journalists. And when I say ex, they're currently employed by national newspapers and some by the broadcasters. Those people have started to contact me and they're saying to me that they're looking at this because now they've got something that backs them up, which is the union. Yeah, and it's not a lefty union. It's a constitutionalist union, if you like. Call it that. And the second element is that they can be issued with these press passes, which are regulated by the English Press Association. So some of them people who have been caught up, remember what our favourite Anon was saying, some people are there because they have to be there, but they need a way out. And what we're doing is setting up a strategy to look at the media and say, here is your way out. Yeah, if you want to tell the truth and you want to be backed up by a union and people that believe in the truth, then here it is. And that is working currently, just to let you know. We've even got we've had one person from what was the News of the World, someone else from the Telegraph, someone else from the Times. So there's a lot of these people who are looking at it and saying, we love this. This is a great idea. Well done. Right. So it's a strategy that's been implemented to help people and lever them out of the bad situation that they're in and back onto the good side. That's the difference.
Well, we're proud of you. We're glad that you're doing it. Before we get into the news, thanks Dizzy for the super chat. He said, "I'm starting a fan club for Richard Marx, the famous 1980 singer. So I'm gonna insert a word there because I ain't saying that one. I'm a croak hard Marxist. His work is awesome. So there you go. Thanks Dizzy for that. Appreciate it. And what do you guys want to talk about? There's a lot of stuff going on. Let's give them some news. It's been a minute.
I got it right
Go for
here.
it, Pixels.
More censoring of people that work at the White House by Twitter. Can you even believe it?
Shocker.
Yeah. From Fox News, published just over 40 minutes ago, Twitter removes top White House coronavirus advisor tweet claiming masks don't work. And I forgot to close that tab, everybody. We're going to get in trouble. Hopefully not. Twitter removed a tweet from top White House coronavirus advisor Dr. Scott Atlas for questioning the effectiveness of masks in combating COVID-19. Atlas's tweet read, quote, "Masks work? No," and preceded several others that questioned the use of face coverings and preventing the spread of the coronavirus. Atlas also used examples of areas where he said cases exploded even with mandates, including Los Angeles, Miami, Hawaii, Alabama, France, Philippines, United Kingdom, Spain, and Israel. So this guy literally brought the sauce, right? The reasoning behind why he thinks that masks don't work, and he is a top White House coronavirus advisor, and Twitter shut him down, just like they will shut down the president when they feel he goes too far. I'm really sick and tired of freaking seeing this and seeing them being able to do this with impunity. Not only are they censoring the American people, but they're censoring the president of the United States, as well as people that work with him at the White House. It's absolutely egregious and disgusting. And I just don't even know what else to say about it. Like, something has to come to a head with this censorship.
Well, obviously this week you've got the Senate and that subpoenaing at Jack, and it looks like he's going to get his cohorts from Silicon Valley aboard in that endeavor as well. The question I would have, I guess, in that regard is, what exactly do we think we're going to learn that's any different than what we've already heard through their lying mouths in the past? What does the Senate stand to gain by doing this at this point? What's supposed to happen here?
Well, I've been making that point as well. This is the whole, subpoenaing them, and that's great and everything, and sending them threatening, letters and saying, we're going to subpoena you if you don't answer these questions and stuff like that. It's not going to change their behavior. They don't care how many times they're sent a letter full of questioning. They don't care how many times they're subpoenaed. They don't care how many times they have to go to Congress and testify about this stuff, because you know what happens every time they do that? They show up, they unload a bunch of BS PR language and lie their butts off, and then they leave and nothing happens. They just go in and say, "Oh no, we're not censoring for political reasons. It's like this. It's just our policy. Here it is. Here's the policy. So we're just following our policy." And then they get to leave, and nothing ever happens. They don't face any consequences for what they do. So you think they care if they're subpoenaed again? Do you think they care if they're sent another letter? No, they're just going to go through the same run-of-the-mill bullcrap that they did before. Like I said, unload some PR statements and then leave and act like nothing happened.
Well, maybe we need to do a show that's dedicated to an on-air live dig in opensecrets.org through all 535 members, and just expose them for how many people are actually bankrolled by Silicon Valley. And we'll just shine a little spotlight on them.
That's a good idea.
Well,
then what they're doing in the UK, though, I was going to say, what's happening over in Daddy Dragon's Land is they're locking them back down. Are they not?
They're still flooding the country with illegal migrants on boats. You've just had a really serious situation. Obviously, it was serious, where a teacher in France has just been beheaded for showing cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad. That's pretty, obviously, it's causing a lot of problems now in France. The guy who did it was only given a 10-year stay on refugee asylum status for 10 years in March, So in other words, in March of this year, he was granted asylum status. Fairly obvious what he's done within months of being there. He's beheaded a teacher. If they haven't granted asylum status to him, a lot of these people we know are ISIS. We're being flooded with the same type of events. The police was again at Napier Barracks over the weekend, and they were protecting Antifa and others that were protesting for these illegal migrants. I'm going to be doing some other stuff in the week. Hopefully, I'm going to go up to a couple other places. I won't say where it is, but I have been notified today. Again, the journalist element is coming into this. People in local areas are notifying me that there are migrants moving into their area. Can't say too much about where, but I'm going to go up there and do some photographs and some images of that as well. So
Well,
there's lots going on.
I know why Tad hid this, because he's trying to protect our chat, but I'm going to try and word this in a way that's Sham just wrote in chat that said the little girl who was assaulted violently by a man, and you know what that means, and it says, and all the bloke walked away with was community service. Do you see that? Where do you know about that story, Daddy? What about the little girl that was I mean I can say sexually assaulted. It's the R word you have to be careful of. Ironically enough, and if you ever wonder at the censorship and the words that they censor, think about who they're trying to cover for here.
Yeah.
You can't cover that stuff. Why not? Are they protecting them? Seems like it.
They are, is the answer.
Mhm.
There is no doubt that they are. And again, I do believe, and I've said this many moons ago, probably a major video I've done about 3 years ago, and I explained to people that the group of Islamists that are in this country, and there's possibly 4 million, we know that 50% of them, which is 2 million, support and want Sharia law. We know that over 50% of them people have already said that you should have the death penalty for homosexuality, right? So all of these parts are still there. Now, what you've got there is them people in this country backing up from London all the way up to the north, and obviously what they've done to English girls, women and boys in the last 50 years, and been protected by the British government and the British establishment, and that means the police, the social services and all them people. But what I've also said is when Germany give the command, and it was a command or an order to them people, Erdogan basically caused a lot of problems with, and the American side, the Clintons, created a problem with Libya. They've flooded across the Mediterranean. They've then been allowed into Italy, come in. Germany has basically said, come here. Now, what people don't realise about Germany is that they were forbidden to have, they were forbidden to be under arms. They have now got 400,000 men under arms in Germany. Britain, as a whole, has got 70,000 troops, taken down from 385,000 in 1985 to its current state, and I now believe they're going to reduce the army by another 5,000. The government have asked for paramilitary police, right? So we're already moving into the gendarmerie type event of France. And again, I don't like the French in terms of their establishment, not the people. The people are genuine. The establishment are not so genuine, obviously. That's why they've been beating the yellow vests up. So the issue we've now got is you've got 1.5 million fighting age men sitting in Germany. They have now spread out and have started to literally come off the channel. When you look at the boats and in one day, I believe there was 200 in one lot that come over. They're all young fighting age men, and the majority of them are Muslims, right? People may not. Go on.
Before you go on, do you know how many that, because this is something else that's not really covered anymore, do you know how many that the country's taken in, say, a week there?
They're not telling us. Again, I made a freedom of information request. This was about 2 years ago. Other people are sending me, Graham, this has been going on for 10 years and no one's ever covered it, right? So we're covering it now. Active Patriot, you've got the TWXX channel, which is Tracy, who was assaulted by one of them. The police have said they're not going to do anything about that at all. They've actually said it was your fault for being there and filming in the first place. So again, these are situations that we need to stand up and start doing stuff. And singing and dancing and praying on its own don't help. So we have actually got to do something. But getting back to that, you've now got 1.5 million sitting in Germany and other countries. You've also got them beheading people at will in Belgium and in France. This is a dangerous situation, people. These people have no regard for our constitution whatsoever. In fact, they have completely and utterly said they're not interested in it. They're only interested in Sharia. That's it. Now you've got a situation, they've just beheaded a teacher for showing the cartoons in his classroom or her classroom. I can't remember who the person was. Bang. Right. So they've been beheaded. The video's been put out. It was actually the beheaded video was actually put out on Twitter and it was allowed to go out as far as I know. It was out there. That to me is a really situation. Now we've got Germany and again, 1.5 million fighting men. You've got 400,000 Germans now under arms. I'm not suggesting the German people in general are there, but certainly this progressive system that we had before that built the Nazis is there, right? You've got this army that's come in there. All they got to do is stick them in uniforms, stick a gun in the round. They're all trained, if they are ISIS, etc., flooded over the Mediterranean. Then England, what England has got is we've got a group of people acting from the back, moving forward, and we've got the element coming across the channel and a very large physical army in Europe, right? European Union, in my opinion, will just arm them and use them as their army against us. And we need to be very shrewd and wise. It's one of the reasons why the English Democrats have now reinitiated the right to keep and bear arms. It is now part of our manifesto. It's already part of our constitution, so it's quite lawful. And again, people didn't know that. So what's going to happen now is once we get a police commissioner elected, the police commissioner then tells the chief constable of the constabulary, you shall issue, right, for personal defence of your home, your family, and the realm of England. That's it. And that is perfectly lawful, and under our constitution, it is there already. So we don't need to make any laws for this. It's literally, all we're doing now is enforcing our constitution, and it starts with the police commissioners. So again, repeating this, the strategies are all there, but what you're talking about now, how many coming over? I've done freedom of information requests, and they declined to tell me how many people or who they was, where they come from, what their ages were, what their gender was, and they said all of that information is held under national security. So what they were saying was, it's the Official Secrets Act and we can't tell you. That's it.
Wow. Well,
Very
moving
good.
on from that disaster. Oh, that's just sad. All right. So, okay. Well, keep us posted on that. So next.
let's move on to Hunter Biden.
Okay. Ooh, juicy stuff.
Yeah, the really juicy stuff that is coming out and will continue to come out over the next couple of weeks coming up to the election. I want to read this drop here, just part of it. And it was dropped yesterday. Ukraine, China, Iraq, Iran opens the door far beyond the Biden family. How do you protect your interests and shelter from prosecution and public awareness? And I think the answer to that question is, well, get Joe Biden to run for president, especially if they knew that this stuff would be coming out. We know that Hunter Biden was trying actually to get that laptop back from the repair shop he dropped it off at. And there's another drop that kind of talks about that. And that came in actually today. And it says, how do you inform your targets, business partners, what you have? Why would Hunter Biden have such material on his laptop? How was the content originally received? Email? Why would Hunter Biden risk turning over such material to a computer repair shop? Contents unrestricted. On purpose? Years of being treated poorly by Pop, which would be Joe Biden, or simple negligence? And I'll stop it there. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think it was negligence, or do you think that Hunter Biden, would want to bring it all down? I mean, what do you think, Breaking?
If I could go into a jingle, da 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 da, because I got high, because I got high, because I got high.
Wow. Oh, somebody, you need to clip that and loop that, and I will use it as blackmail.
I think I heard that in a song once.
I was going to format my hard drive, but then I got high.
That's right.
So,
we need this.
I don't know why.
That's perfect, Brad.
Because I got high. Because I got high.
Oh my
so
God,
you think it was negligence?
Crazy.
You think that he's not doing this on purpose? It was negligence. Okay, but that's beside the point. I think that he probably realized, oh crap, right? And then started calling this place to try and get his laptop back. And probably by that time, the guy had already seen what was on the laptop, which we're going to discuss here in a moment. And turned it over to the FBI. So they probably knew this as far back as, because Hunter probably went right to Joe Biden and said, "Look, we've got a problem here." And Daddy Dragon's raising his hand. What do you got?
I know. Let's see.
No, I just wanted to start. You carry on with this because this is a great conversation and I'm loving it. Didn't they just say on Fox News that there's 3 laptops now?
I think there's 3 hard drives, Daddy. 3 hard drives.
Three hard drives. Yeah. 3 laptops, whatever.
And
there's 3 lots, not just 1 lot. And they said there's more to come.
And to show you how kind of ignorant they are, his Hunter's attorney actually sent a letter to the repair shop requesting that the laptop be returned. So any kind of thing that they're trying to say, it's not his. I mean, his attorney tried to get it back for him. So there's that. Keep going. Sorry, guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Mockingbird media too, some of the latest information saying Adam Schiff is already saying that this is a Russian conspiracy. It's coming straight out of the Kremlin. It's such bullshit.
It is.
Schiff, your game is up, dude. Give it up.
I think that him just saying that, like, totally everyone's like, oh God, okay, there's the excuse, the Russia excuse, right? Nobody's believing what he's saying. But anyways, I think there's a scenario kind of forming itself in my head here. Hunter Biden drops this laptop off at a repair shop, right? And then he realizes he didn't wipe the data from it. So then he freaks out, just starts trying to call the shop to get his laptop back. It doesn't happen because probably the shop has already copied it and sent it to the FBI and given it to Rudy Giuliani. So then Hunter goes to Joe and says, dude, we got a problem. This laptop and everything on it, and I'm sure that he knew what was on it, right? And so I literally, I'm starting to think maybe this is the reason that Joe Biden decided to run for president, because we all know when you're running for president, it basically gives you a free pass. You cannot be indicted. It's hard to even get an investigation started about you when you're running for president because of the long-standing DOJ whatever. This is the scenario that's happening in my head. I think that the whole reason for Joe Biden running for president is to avoid prosecution in what we're seeing coming out now. And this stuff is so serious that I think that as this rolls out, as more of this stuff is released, it's going to literally destroy every and any chance that Joe Biden has to win the presidency. And I'm saying that because we're now finding out from Chanel Rion, she was kind of the first one to bring this out. It says Ron Johnson is on Fox News suggesting there's child pornography on the computer that purportedly belongs to Hunter Biden. So let's just listen to what Ron Johnson says here in his conversation this morning with Maria Bartiromo. And I got to make sure I'm sharing my computer sound. Okay, here we go.
So many troubling connections, so many things that need to be investigated that I really think we're just scratching the surface. And yes, I've heard all kinds of things that I think will probably be revealed over the next few days. There's a treasure trove of emails and video and pictures in not only the purported computer of Hunter Biden, but now we've got the co-conspirator, Bevan Cooney, that also starting to reveal information. I guess we're probably going to just find more information every day over the next couple of weeks.
And now we've got President Trump on Twitter saying Biden is a national security threat. Replying to this guy saying, after corruptly blocking readers from accessing the New York Post's expose on Hunter and Joe Biden, Twitter is now throttling its circulation of a Fox News story detailing Biden's business ties in communist China. So as you can see, they're trying so hard, right, to clamp down on this and stop this from being reported. And I think that they know the enormity of what's coming as it pertains to the Bidens. Now, Biden is a national security threat. I think President Trump is being very literal here. When you have this kind of blackmail on you, and this is even beside like the business dealings and stuff, when you've got video and picture of you doing horrendous things on your laptop, and now Rudy Giuliani's got it, right? And these things were put on your laptop as a way to control you, right? To buy your influence from other countries. Like, it's blackmail, right? That is why President Trump is calling this a national security threat, because the existence of this data and the Biden's involvement in all this, it is a cut and dry national security threat, because they're going to do everything they possibly can. They'll give countries millions of dollars in aid. They will make decisions that all these other countries that have the blackmail on them, they own them. They own them. And the prospect of the president of the United States, right, if Joe Biden were to win, the prospect of him being owned by all of these countries who are actually our adversaries. Communist China is an enemy of our country. And when they have stuff on the Bidens like this, they would own them. And the United States would be at the complete mercy of all of these countries that have this blackmail upon them.
But before we keep going, I'm going to get to this really, really quick, because Dizzy's on a roll today. And I'm going to use a term from Whitney Houston to get to this first one. Dizzy says, Pixels clearly hasn't smoked whack like all the school kids at his school. And then his next one is, hang on, where'd it go? There it is. CP on Hunter's laptop, just like Wiener's. Effing A right there is. You know what CP means. So there you go. Thanks, Dizzy.
It brings up something. Was the Wiener laptop... Was our favorite Anon dangling the Wiener laptop to make them look over here while they're doing this stuff over here with Hunter Biden's laptop? Because if so, that is hilarious.
I think it just highlights just how corrupt these folks are in selling our country out, because just like in 2016, when we had 30 days of WikiLeaks drops from Podesta's emails, we knew that a lot of this stuff was going to get out there. We knew that it was wide open for all to see, especially given the Guccifer 2.0 information and that came out, right? And so here we are, flash forward 4 years later, very same thing is playing out, different family, but equally as corrupt, the crime syndicates that they are, both the HRCs and Biden crime syndicates, and that's exactly what they are. We're not going to call it anything less or mince words. They're crime syndicates. And the buying and peddling of influence and selling off of our technology and everything else to undermine the Americans is exactly what they specialize in. And the very next post, obviously, we'll get into this and talking about the Emoluments Clause. Why our founding fathers were so adamant about not having foreign influence over us. And it was for people just like the ones we're talking about 4 years ago as well as today. Number one, they don't know when to shut up and try and keep dollars in their own hands instead of trying to fetch dollars from abroad, not realizing that, hey, idiot, they're going to have leverage over us. And that's exactly what
Before you get in that, I'm sorry, guys. We have something going on in the chat. Nosy Poke, is that a euro or pound? I'm so bad
Pound.
with currency. Is that a pound? She said, see you, Dizzy, and raise ya. Hee hee. So we got a challenge going on in chat. Sorry, I just want to get that out because it only gives me a certain time to say it before I lose it. Go ahead. Sorry.
Right,
And Daddy's itching. He's squirming in his chair.
I'm squirming in my chair because, again, Breaking, who thinks like me as well, or mind you, most Americans think like me, to be honest with you. We are the majority, the silent majority. I sent out, now, our favourite Anon, and I'm not going to say any more than that, sent something out, right? So I've sent a tweet out that says this: English Constitution versus the American Constitution. The Glorious Revolution Mark II is about to surface. Now, what was said by a certain favourite Anon, Clause US Const Art 198, no person hold any office or profit or trust under the United States shall, without the consent of the Congress, accept any present emolument, office or title of any kind whatever from any king, prince or foreign state. Now, what does it say in the Bill of Rights from England? Right? It says, and I do declare that no foreign prince, person, prelate, state or pontificate hath or ought to have any jurisdiction, power, superiority, preeminence or authority ecclesiastical or spiritual within this realm. So help me God, right? And it comes from the Supremacy Clause in the Bill of Rights in England, and that is where that element of the American Constitution come from, right? Because they knew, and the reason why they went there to create this new element, don't forget what it was all about, is because they turned around and said, we want the same rights as an Englishman. And it was the British that caused the issue. But just look at that statement and look at that, and you can see where it comes from. The second quick point, a very quick point, Pixels just said that he thinks that Biden is running for president because of these, he knew these convictions were coming, right? I 50% believe that, and 50% believe that they thought that they was going to get President Trump impeached, right? After that situation is when Biden became the president. The candidate for president. The bit that I want to point out is he's doing exactly the same as what Ernie Saunders did in this country and what Lord Janner did in this country. When them convictions start to surface, right, they then pretend that they've got Alzheimer's or some form of mental condition, because then in English common law, mens rea comes into it. That is, are they compos mentis, etc., to stand trial? That is what they're aiming for. So then the second part of their strategy is to put this woman in place who we all know has showed her heels to everyone, right? But she particularly is then the secondary position. What you're going to get then is if Pelosi is still there and in that Congress, then she has some form of chance of being either an assistant or something else under the American Constitution. So you can see they're into serious panic mode. That's it.
Absolutely.
I got to jump in quick here. One, NSV with a huge super chat, with $50 super chat that says nothing can stop what's coming. And then we got another one from Durf that said, United we people win. Like, thank you. And I got to give a shout out too, because I don't want to forget our channel members. Like I see Thumper Rose, Super Tad, which is also a mod, Chris Schaus. Please tell, oh, he got the package yesterday. Yay. He was the one that won our red pill thing. I sent that to him. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. Mojo, who's out there. Did I say Thumper Rose already? Kings versus Kings. That's all of our like channel members, and that you join below. There's that join button. That's why they're all green. Oh my! So thank you guys for the support. We really do appreciate it. I mean, and I'm telling you, it does mean a lot because we've seen what's happened to these other channels. So just thank you. Sorry, I keep trying to interrupt. Like that's just amazing. I got to give a shout out.
Thank you guys. all the support that we receive. It just it makes our day, and we love doing this, and we do this even if we didn't receive the support, but it helps us, it keeps us motivated and pushes us on. So we really appreciate you guys. And I think another one just came in, Under a Blood Red Sky. He was hanging with us yesterday too. So hey, thank you, Under a Blood Red Sky, for that as well.
Who said no to hate?
No to hate. Very good. Love it.
Oh, Daddy Dragon, I guess expounding a little bit
Good
more.
Lord. Disney just dropped $100 bill, says fornicated Raymondette is for 2 weeks, MAGA life. Like, geez, y'all. Nikki's out there too. Sorry, Nikki. See, I was waiting on y'all to come. She's another channel member.
I haven't heard the word.
Thank you, Dizzy.
Punisher.
Izzy, leave that pipe alone, son.
Listen, he's only a casual user, Daddy. Casual.
I haven't heard the word fornicate since Billy Bob Thornton used it in Bad Santa. And I guess back to your point real quick, Daddy Dragon. Notice what the Emoluments Clause says: without the consent of Congress, right? The key thing that I honed in on that when I broadcast earlier today was this, is that's great, fine and dandy, but there's a small problem with Congress today. And that's the fact that K Street is right down the road. K Street, if you don't know, in Washington, D.C. is where all the fat cat lobbyists sit with their bags of dollars. They write up the legislation. They wheel the legislation over it. They craft it, and they plop a senator or a congressman's name on it. And then they, too, are bought. So they themselves are bought with influence. So is it any wonder that we have the problems that we do, and emoluments cannot necessarily be used because the folks in Congress, who supposedly are the ones that we're supposed to get consent from, are they themselves bought?
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Gen Z just dropped another $100 bill. So I see you, Dizzy, and I raise you. What is
Jeez.
going on today?
You guys are just the best. I love you guys.
Holy crap.
I want to
And
get to.
I promise you, all the hosts feel the love too. I spread the wealth. Whatever we get donated here, they feel it as well. I promise you. They can speak up if I'm lying.
In other words, Mama needs a new pair of shoes.
Right? No, everybody feels the love here at 5x5. I promise you, they get it as well. I try to be very fair about it.
So Jessica Erler out there, who is actually a member of the channel, we thank you for that. She's saying, will they link it to Epstein maybe? To in the honey pot, I think is what she's trying to say. And then somebody else, let's see, Terry Saunders out there says Water Island in eyesight of Epstein Island. Yes, it is an eyesight of Epstein Island, and that's the island that the Bidens were involved in there as well. The other thing I wanted to mention, Breaking Spectre and Daddy Dragon, they were talking about kind of how Joe Biden could use his condition or whatever as a defense for this stuff. And I want to bring you guys to a quick little 16-second clip that Methods, my good friend Methods, posted on Twitter the other day, and it plays right into what you guys were just saying. Listen to this.
But how amazing would it be if this was all one brilliant ploy just to convince his wife that I didn't know she wasn't you. I forgot who you are. You saw me do it on a national stage.
I think it's going to be an insanity defense in his RICO case.
Yeah, I think they'll try.
Insanity defense.
I think they'll try, much the same way we see the ploy playing out with Pelosi and her drunken hooliganism, whatever the heck you want to call it, behind the scenes, airheadedness. No, this stuff isn't going to fly. And again, folks, if you honestly think that these folks are going to get run through the ringer by the DOJ and FBI through our current system, think again. These folks have committed treason and high crimes against this country. They have sold us out. The best case scenario for them is that they would get to go through this system, but they're not. They're not going to have a defense because chances are it's going to be a military tribunal down in frickin' Gitmo for these folks, and it's where they should be.
And I'm sorry, I don't want to keep interrupting you, but Joey Smith, I'm sorry I missed you. He's another channel member. And boom, another one from English Flower says, wait for it, people. The best is yet to come. Love this channel with another $20. Again, you said that was pounds breaking?
Yes, 20 pounds.
Okay. So I don't know what's going on, y'all, but thank you for this Sunday. We love it. It's been a rough week. I'm not going to lie. So just seeing the support for us is amazing. And please just know that's all. Oh, wait a minute. There's another one. Amethyst as another channel member. Go, guys. Yay. Thank you. Okay, I'm shutting up. I have to interject when I see this. I don't know what's going on, but thank y'all for the love. We really do appreciate it.
And don't forget to get over to DLive and all of our backup platforms should something happen.
Wait a minute, Jessica. Am I saying your name right? Erler. She's another chat member. The Nikki B just dropped another $25 super chat. Holy crap, guys.
What is going on?
I don't know, but thanks, y'all. I'm going to tell you again, it's been a rough week. So again, appreciate the love. Really, really do. It's been hectic trying to keep everybody together and build other platforms. And so we really do appreciate it. Really, really do. Brandon Pixels had a rough day yesterday, and personally. And so I know that it shines on all of us. So thank you.
Yep. And I was just looking at the drops again, and the one I read partially earlier, Ukraine, China, Iraq, Iran opens the door far beyond the Biden family. Well, what are the other families we can think of that are incredibly corrupt and were involved in high levels in the government during the time that Biden was VP, and that is Hillary Clinton. And then something gets dropped today, a video from I think it's ABC News from back in 2017. And I mean, just look at this headline.
Harmithus, $25 super chat. Thank you. Can
you guys see this? NBC News, Hillary Clinton covered up pedophile ring at State Department, 2013, man. I mean, this stuff is just, I want to see all of this just totally break out. Like, we need to see all of it. I mean, what do you guys think?
Oh, and it's going to be harsh, if folks saw some of the pictures from the hard drive, some of it was circulating the other day. Some of this stuff gets posted around, and it is sickening. It will draw at you and eat at you. And Q said or Anon said at the very beginning, that the end is not for everybody. Yeah. And some people just are not going to be able to muster it. And I understand. I don't necessarily want to say that you got to be somewhat battle hardened, thick skinned about it. Whatever it is, but we're in this for the long haul, and everything is going to get upended. The things that they think that they were going to be able to bury and keep quiet and keep under the cover of darkness, just not going to be so. And we will get the word out, and it's going to be pretty shocking to the normies and the rest of the populace. And if you want to see anything that will rally people together more so than anything, it's exactly like what Savannah Guthrie was trying to paint the case for with POTUS the other night. And he says, no, I don't know that. Well, that the Dems aren't pedophiles, right? And it was almost like, what do you mean you don't know this? And he couldn't definitively say that. So imagine the scenario that paints of the things that are yet to come. If you don't think those folks are scared, just go back and listen to Savannah Guthrie the other night when they had the quote unquote town hall where she tried to play gotcha every 5 minutes.
That was so obnoxious, man. It was so bad. Like I couldn't even listen to it. It was, but it generated some good memes, that's for sure.
Oh, I can only imagine.
I'm sorry. I'm just over there just kind of shell shocked watching our chat going like, so y'all got it. Y'all keep talking.
Yeah, you guys out there in chat are the best. How many people are watching right now, by the way? Because I can't see it.
616 live, but that's just the people that are locked into YouTube. Usually after we upload, it usually is this is one of the favorite shows. I think it's because we all get together and chat about what's going on for the week, but that's just who's logged into YouTube watching. It's in the chat. There's several people that don't log in and watch.
It's a great, for 5x5, that's a great live number to have.
Oh, so, yeah.
I'm happy. All right, I want to show you guys. This continues on with the Hunter Biden stuff. There's more censorship of this happening as it pertains to Twitter and the New York Post. I can't read this article because Epoch Times is gonna, put us behind a paywall. That's fine. I get it. They need their support and to be funded in what they're doing. But here's the headline: Twitter won't unlock New York Post account unless Hunter Biden posts deleted. So Twitter is literally, well, not literally, but figuratively, Twitter is holding a gun to the head of the New York Post saying, we will take your Twitter account away if you don't remove these Hunter Biden posts. And literally they're going back on what they said the other day. Jack Dorsey went on Twitter and said it was wrong for us to blatantly just block the link, yada, yada, yada. We'll do better, you know, big boo-hoo. And now they're pulling the same crap. It's like, really?
I want to see if I've got that, because if it's behind a paywall, let me just have a look and see if I've got it. I've actually registered with them, so I do get to see all their stuff.
I can throw the link in the Zoom chat for you.
I'll have a look and see if I can find it. Where is it? Right, let's just see if it's in there. Epoch Times. Hopefully it'll come up on this screen. Yeah, I've got the whole thing. Do you want me to share it?
Sure, throw it up.
Right, I'll throw it up. And there is a brief thing that I needed just to say. Everyone asking about Hull on the 7th or the 11th, where I'll be there, a number of others doing freedom of speech. It is authorised by the Bill of Rights of 1689. We are going regardless of any lockdowns, and so will I. And I am the organiser. And if they want to come and see anyone, they can come and see me, right? Just to let everyone know. So, and again, just to let everyone know, everything that you're donating to that channel at the moment in that chat is divided up amongst us and the channel, and it does help. And I'll give you an example. I just got sent some money because I had to pay the little old man who makes my cups, and that money just dropped in, and that was a relief because it means I can pay him, right? So just to let you know, it does help. It does keep us going, and it keeps the channel going, right? And also, it gives us a sense of, you know, all of us belonging, right? And we do belong to each other because we're God's people. That's what we're doing this for and pushing forward. Just remember that. And what I'm going to do is show you this screen. Hopefully it's going to share. If it comes
Dizzy
up,
Kincaid says with $1.99, he says, "Start small. Someone beat this. I dare you." Thank you so much, Dizzy. You're the best, and you've been one of our most loyal audience members throughout this entire thing. So we really appreciate you and love you, Dizzy.
Yeah, no, proper, and I agree. So Twitter won't unlock New York post account. I'm hoping everyone can see this out there. Post account unless Hunter Biden post deleted. This was October the 18th, 2020. So obviously today, Twitter after 4 days has not unlocked the New York Post's account after it published several bombshell reports about Hunter Biden's laptop and emails. According to several of the paper's editors, Emma Jo Morris, a politics editor with the paper, wrote that it's now day 4 of the Twitter blocking the Post's account access unless we self-censor. The paper's opinions editor, Sorab Aramari, also confirmed the locked account. Biden's campaign and Biden have disputed some of the allegations, which Biden's saying that it is a smear campaign. In remarks delivered over the weekend, it's now been 4 days since the Post dropped for the first Hunter Files story, and neither Joe nor Hunter has disputed a single material fact. Amari said on the social media website, the easiest thing they could do is to say that laptop isn't ours. Hunter didn't send and receive those emails, yet they haven't done that. I totally agree with that comment. As of Sunday afternoon, the Twitter account showed New York Post's last tweet was on October the 14th. And then it goes through and it says a lot of other stuff on there. What I'll do is just gently run through this. If anyone wants to go and look at this, please re-share the stream after, come back to it, and then you can read it, the whole story for yourself. How's that? So it is behind a paywall, but it's up there, and you will be seeing that information from Epoch Times, which I must say is well worth the subscription.
Absolutely.
You see what's going on in chat? Do you see what's going on in chat? Nosy Poke comes in with the $2 pound, says beat you, Dizzy. $25.50 next one. Then Dumper Rose comes in with a $5 super chat. Then B Tech Vendetta is a $5.05 super chat. I'll raise you, Thumper. And Patriot Drummer. Look, I can't even get the words out. Comes in with the $5 super chat. And pennies in a jar. Allow me to pile on. Blessings to all. Y'all are awesome.
God bless
Whatever's
you guys.
going on today, we're blessed. Is all I'm gonna say.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
you guys are the best. You're gonna make Pixels cry over here, man. I don't want to cry on air.
Yes, it's been right. It's been a rough week. Like when it gets this rough, you're like, I mean, you have got to get in the trenches and figure out. Like I've had it rough. You know, it's like it's hard when you watch all these people you care about and to build good channels and do good work and see how sad they are and the things that they're going through, and then you're just trying to keep yourself afloat and try not to make everybody mad. And so I don't know. I mean, the Lord works in mysterious ways is all I got to say, because this is not a typical Sunday. So we really do thank you guys for real. It's just it's putting a smile on our face.
The Lord does work in mysterious ways, but the people that we're up against don't. And here's an example of that. This was put up by our favorite Anon. And it's just kind of like an image showing you how these people not only connect interagency, like as far as government goes, but in the private sector as well. You see Sergey Brin, the co-founder of Google, president of Alphabet Incorporated. He's married to Anne Wojcicki, who is the co-founder of 23andMe. And then there's she's sisters with Susan Wojcicki, which we know is the CEO of YouTube here, who have clamped down on this movement big time as far as censorship goes. So it just shows you these people are all they're family, you know what I mean? They're all connected, and this is how they're able to use all of these giant big tech companies to censor us and prevent our message from getting out there.
And another super chat from Gene Z, $4.99 with a sticker that says "Keep it up." I'm just like overwhelmed, right? It's crazy. Thanks, everybody. Dizzy says it's 505 where it stands, so I'm a little nervous. Dizzy's done dropped $100 super chat. He's like, it's 505 where it stands, and you're like, you know what I mean? Okay, y'all keep going. I'm just gonna stare at chat like in a tunnel.
I think everyone can agree so far October is definitely a red October. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
I think they've got a lot more coming at them, and I think they absolutely know what's going to happen if, and it's a small if, because we all know it's a when President Trump is re-elected. That means that the American public are saying, we want you to proceed with the Constitution. We want you to proceed against these traitors. And we want you as the president and chief of this nation to remove the tyranny and remove the corruption. And when you get a massive red wave like that, that's the rubber stamp for President Trump and his administration to carry on. And that's exactly what they're going to do.
And I've had kind of that theory in my head for a while now, where this election is kind of the American people, right? We've been shown throughout these 4 years what these people are, what they do, and what needs to be done as far as justice goes for that. But I see this election as kind of asking the American people, do you want to proceed with this? And when President Trump is reelected, that's confirmation from the American people that, yes, we want to rip this Band-Aid off and we want to get this done. We want our country back from these people. And I think that, and 412, he was the first to say this, and I'll give him credit for this because it got my gears turning. He basically said for this first term, President Trump has been a very careful surgeon, right? He has picked out the players that needed to be picked out, and he's slowly kind of brought all of this to the surface, so on and so forth. But after and basically right now, nothing can be done justice-wise because of the optics of being in the middle of an election. But once the election is over, once President Trump has won, we go from optics are everything to optics are nothing. And I really sincerely believe that we're going to see President Trump transform from this careful surgeon who's carefully going about what he's doing to just an absolute wrecking ball. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would say you're probably right in that you look at what the insurmountable odds that DJT has had through the first 4 years, because they cooked up this plan. They probably knew, I would say, month or two in advance that HRC would probably lose. So they had to keep up the optics. They had to carry on with the polls all the way to and through election night. And so then you get a bunch of them peel off and go hatch this plan on how are we going to circumvent this outsider from coming in and stealing away a presidency. And they know it was coming, believe me. So they devise this plan, right? And of course, it's always Russia, Russia this, Russia that. And they get this thing to stick. And they use their corrupt cronies in all their various positions and that throughout the swamp. And one by one, we've watched them fall. We've watched the Strokes. We've watched the McCabe's. We've watched the Comeys. We've watched the Pages. We've watched every single one of them get toppled down. We've watched the Mueller stuff fall apart, a big effing nothing burger all the way through. And so now then we have to sit and wade through the rest of the swamp with Pelosi and everything else, with the impeachment hoax, with the COVID hoax, and everything else. And it too is going to fall by the wayside. Every single thing that they have thrown at them does not stick. There's a reason why they call them Teflon Don, folks. That being said, gloves off after Election Day. And I think that, enough of the swamp is drained, that now we're in a position to where we can actually get something done, because they are literally out of ammo at this point. They have nothing more that they can throw. They have no more cronies on the inside that they can leverage. It's go time.
He really has set the stage, right? And I think that the entire first term, like that's how you can describe this entire first term, is setting the stage for what's to come.
And I gotta say, jump in and say, the big tech vendetta 1111 says, "Come on, Gene Z, at least leave an 1111 for good luck." And then Thumper Rose over in D Live has dropped like a diamond, and she's dropped an ice cream. I didn't even have D Live up. I've been like stargazing on our YouTube chat. So thank you for all that as well.
You guys are the best.
Can I also say what I love about being on this channel is occasionally you hear that big deep throat throb of a V8 in the background, and I love it. Only in America.
Yeah. Apologize for the rednecks around the area, folks. That's what deplorable country has around these parts.
Please. He lives in Illinois. You want to hear some redneck four drives? Get on down here in the South, son. You should hear it on Saturday. I have a guy that lives across the street that tows his gator around in the back of his truck. Trust me, when his friends come for that rock climb, it's loud around here.
No.
My cousins do it too.
The sound of a V8, right? And then more and more V8s, and then Harleys in particular. They've just got that sound that you just love, you know.
Usually we'd have that too, but it's starting to get a little bit chilly in these parts here, and we had a little bit of rain today, so no Harleys running up the street where I'm at. So,
yeah. Guys, listen to this tweet from Woke Societies, and Woke, if you're out there watching right now, love you, brother. He said, Biden called a lid till Thursday. That should give you a sense of the kind of news that will most likely be breaking this week. He's hiding in big tech, and the media are covering for him. Accurate, accurate, accurate. And Gene's A out there again. Gene's eye. Oh, Gene's eye. Okay. That's how you say it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat again.
Yeah, she had to get me on that. I'm horrible at some of the anon names, so I'm glad she did have to super chat to get her to say her name correctly. Thank you for sure.
So I guess I have a question for you guys. Who do you think is going to be the first to drop the class action lawsuit against Twitter or YouTube or Facebook at this point? I think we've seen, obviously Congressnet is going to have folksnet bring them in and all that good stuff. But who's going to be the big name that's going to go after these folks? Any thoughts?
Man, that's hard to say. Because there's so many people that have been affected by this. I've heard some things about Zach, talking about maybe taking some legal action, but I don't know. Do you think that we could take legal action where the laws stand right now, or do we need a change in legislation?
Well, it's a good point, because obviously, if you recall, we saw Nunez here even try and go after Twitter with his suit, and it basically spun its wheels and got nowhere. But he was a party of one. However, this time around, you look at the wide swath of folks, right, and just the level of subscribers up and down the list. We know that these guys are openly interfering in an election at this point. Openly, it's cut and dried. There is no case. There's no way that they can defend against it at this point. The question is who is going to be the one to get the big name lawyer and corral a bunch of folks behind them and just absolutely steamroll them.
Thumper Rose out there with another super chat says, just because it had to be done. Well, man, I don't even know what to say, guys. Like, you guys out there are the best today. We really needed this, all the support, man. It just it keeps us going, and it lets us know that people value what we're doing here, and that just means the world.
And to all you people out there that can't, we appreciate you just watching as well. I mean, just sharing the stream and getting it out there does a lot for us as well. So yes, and we really do appreciate the support. It does, the super chats, but please, just the people out there watching too, if you can't, do it. We just appreciate you being here. So know that as well.
I see your comment out there, Paul Simon Case. Don't call him Teflon Don. You would be associating POTUS to Tony Blair. Call him Dangerous Don, because he is dangerous to the deep state globally. Yeah, it's just an old nickname and that he's had, but it still sticks. No pun intended.
Anyone remember that video they did where it was Big Bad Dom?
I literally that song just came into my head.
Yeah.
You stole the words right out of my mouth, Daddy Dragon.
Yeah, Big Bad Dom.
I love that song. Now I wish we could play it now.
Yeah, he was funny. There was a little video done, wasn't there? It was going around on Facebook and Twitter and all that. It was great. I thought it was fantastic. Let me have a look at the chat. And it looks like, so just to let Jay TR, I think it was, who spoke to me earlier. Let's have a look. End SARS processing transfer tonight. All candles and no distances on police. Twitter allowed. Really? I don't know what that means. Let me have a quick look.
See, Daddy Dragon, while you're doing that, can I ask a question as to what the hell's going on in the UK with a headline like UK bans sex for at-risk couples that came through this morning? What is going on with your folks over at the NHS?
They're telling people they can't commingle. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. So a spokesperson from Prime Minister Boris Johnson's office told reporters Friday the rules on household mixing in Tier 2 set out that you should mix with your own household only unless you've formed a support bubble, and that does apply to some couples. And somebody responded to that said, Marie LeConte, we shall F on the beaches, we shall F on the landing grounds, we shall F in the fields and in the streets, we shall F in the hills.
Right, there's a couple of things I'm going to show you now on the screen, right? So,
did y'all read Will J chats? I'm sorry, I've been busy typing. Did y'all get to Will J chat super chat yet?
Will J Watts out there gave us another super chat. He says, "Hope this helps a little from England." Well, thank you very much, and thank you for being one of our awesome viewers from across the pond. We love having that.
So some people may not like what I'm about to show you. It isn't violent, but it isn't nice. So here goes. Just have a quick look. This is currently England. Just have a look at this.
What?
He's wearing a NASA shirt, so now I gotta call him an asshole.
Right. So
That's horrible.
just now, what you've got to understand is the only way you're going to stop this. This is in particular London, I believe, right? The only way you're going to stop this, people, is if the English take back control of our parliament and remove London as a region. That means you remove people like Sadiq Khan, because it goes back to constabularies. It means we get elected people, right? And we control what the police policy is towards this. Now, there's one other thing that I want to show you.
Okay, well, you pull that. I'm going to say this. We all knew this was the fight between good and evil. If this isn't becoming obvious, then I don't know what else is. What he just showed. 2 big tech vendetta said against. Said I'll with the $17.45 super chat. What a number! I'll raise you, Thumper. 5 by 5. Please just keep working together to bring our awesome Patriot family back to the front lines. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And this little thing you guys got going on in super chat by just these certain people is pretty amazing, because it seems like it's the same people that are, I don't know. Thanks, guys. Okay, but yeah, that's my thing. It's the fight between good and evil, and that right there just proves it.
Absolutely. And I want to reassure everyone that we will never stop working together to bring our awesome Patriot family back to the front lines. We will always be doing this. Regardless of what happens, we will find a way. Trust us.
Yeah, and Martin said the UK and a lot more countries need a Second Amendment, and I don't think Daddy would disagree with that sentiment. He said it many a times on air.
They need a Second Amendment way more than they need more diversity, I'll tell you that much.
Exactly.
Right, so let me just tell everyone, we've got a Second Amendment. The American Second Amendment come from our Fifth Amendment, right? So it's in our Constitution. It's the police, and the government that are unlawfully saying you can't have a firearm. That's why the English Democrats have said, let me tell you something, we're taking them back, right? So you've got a way of dealing with it. Just watch this and listen to this one. I'm going to put it on full screen, so hopefully everyone can see this. Just listen to what's said here, right? This again, you're allowed to play this. This is a public venue as such, right? Just have a look and see what this says. Here we go. Hopefully you can all see this on your screen, and here it comes. 5 minutes.
Now, you mentioned there's been a lot of demonstrations over the last few months, and there certainly have been. I've been at many of them. I was at the 3 different freedom rallies which took place in Trafalgar Square on 26th of August, 19th of September, 26th of September.
We need just a bit more volume.
On the 19th of September. Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning. Now, you mentioned there's been a lot of demonstrations over the last few months, and there certainly have been. I've been at many of them. I was at the 3 different freedom rallies which took place in Trafalgar Square on the 26th of August, 19th of September, 26th of September. And I spoke at one of them on the 19th of September. But I was quite shocked, particularly by the behaviour of the TSG riot police on the 26th of September, because the demonstration was absolutely, completely peaceful, unlike some of the Black Lives Matter demonstrations where police were attacked, a woman was thrown off her horse, flares were lit, and the flag at the cenotaph was burned. That happened at the BLM demonstrations. But on the 26th of September, columns of riot police waded into the crowds, batons drawn, people were injured, people's faces were bloodied, a woman was pushed off her chair. That, to me, is unacceptable behaviour from that unit of the Metropolitan Police. Who gave the order for that to happen?
Chairman, I'm not sure if I just don't know enough about the facts. I'm not sure if I can accept the premise of the facts as set up by the member.
Would you accept Would you accept that that's acceptable behaviour by that unit of the Metropolitan Police?
Well, Chair, I hope I gave quite a full answer explaining how operationally these things work with gold, silver and bronze, and the experience of individual commanders. But if the member has particular issues or a complaint to make about police conduct on that day, I suggest he takes them up with both the MPS and the PC, which is the appropriate thing to do rather than this forum. I'm not abreast of the facts, and I can't, determine.
Well, what I can ask you about is your tweets, because on the 26th of September you tweeted, "This is not acceptable. I urge all protesters to leave now. Large gatherings are banned for a reason. You are putting the safety of our city at risk." That was you. Whereas on the Black Lives Matter demonstration, you put out a statement saying, "I stand with you and I share your anger and your pain." Now, they're completely different messages you put out about the Black Lives Matter one, which actually there was a lot of violence. You seemed to support it, but the other one, the entirely peaceful demonstration at the Freedom Rally, you said it's not acceptable. So why did you put out the different statements there?
Well, I think, Chair, the member's in danger of not telling the entire picture, which is since the 20th of August, which is the post the BLM demonstration has been talked about, national legislation has changed, which meant gatherings of more than 30 people have been banned, save for specific circumstances. And he also omits to mention that on the 26th of September, 9 police officers were injured at that demonstration. So it's really important to tell the complete picture rather than cherry-picking some of them.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor. I mean, those 9 police officers wouldn't have been injured if they hadn't have waded into the crowd. But you mentioned the 20th of August. Let's look at last week, because last weekend there was a demonstration of, well, a rally of 3,000 Shia Muslims gathered in Marble Arch for Ashura and marched up Edgware Road. And then on Sunday, the next day, there was another gathering where, again, a large crowd of Shia Muslims gathered at Marble Arch for Arba'in and marched down Park Lane. So are you saying then, on the basis of what you've just said, large gatherings shouldn't be allowed? Why were those demonstrations allowed, and why did you not say anything about those, whereas you did say something about the 26th of September Freedom Rally?
I've not got those facts with me, Chair. I'm happy to take them away and get a response sent to the member offline.
Fine. I think you should be consistent, Mr. Mayor, if you're putting out the message there. But there is one thing that is very disturbing, actually, also about the 26th of September, which was later on in the day. A very, very well-respected German doctor, Dr. Heiko Schöning, who is the chair of the World Doctors Alliance, was arrested in Speaker's Corner just for speaking truth about coronavirus. You might not agree with you, but certainly I would agree with what he says. Why was he arrested and he was held for 22 hours without charge by the police for speaking at Speaker's Corner? Do you agree with that, Mr. Mayor?
I mean, Chair, we're in danger of becoming ridiculous, me being asked about individual cases. I mean, the Met Police deals with more than 2,000 protests or demos a year. I think in 2018, 2,479, in 2019, 2,491. Up to now, we've got more than 1,500. But if there's any particular cases for which the member is concerned, rather than raising them at Mayor's question time, I'm more than happy if he writes to me in advance or speaks to me or gives me notice. I'll get the facts and happy to debate them.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I don't think it's ridiculous at all, because you are the Mayor of London, you are the Police and Crime Commissioner for London. These are all things which have been cases that have had high recognition that a lot of people are concerned about, but I see that you are not able to give me any answers about that at the moment, so I think I'll have to end my questioning here and hope that you can explain those incidents to me in a letter. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good morning.
Right, so again, you've just seen that. Hopefully you all heard that loud and clear. Let me just tell you this now, right? He is the Police and Crime Commissioner, in effect, for London. That's what the London Mayor is. So 9 million people under that. He's got the Metropolitan Police Force who are actually acting, yeah, and he is acting as a region of England. The only way you're going to take back London, right? And I mean, don't take it back as a capital city. Take the power away. Remove the Acts of Union of 1706, 1707. That pulls the British and their power out. Gone, right? When you voided it. The next thing that you do, quite simply, and before that happens, you elect English Democrats, yeah, as police and crime commissioners all around London and over England. We'll give you your guns back. We've already said that. It's in our manifesto. You're getting them back. It's already law. You have a Second Amendment, right? It's in the Bill of Rights. It's our ancient law. It's God's law that you can defend yourself. Do you understand that? And then, people, then we'll take back our parliament. But it won't be in London anymore. It will go back to York or Hull, right? Or Hull, as they call it. It will go back there. We'll take back England, but the people have to stand up for us, right? And that's the English, the British, the Scottish, the Northern Irish, Sinn Féin, SNP, Plaid Cymru, British, they're all socialists. If you want to change anything, you have to vote for us. We're already giving you back your rights that the British have removed. And we're the last colony of the British Empire that will work hand in glove with the United States of America, who are our brothers and sisters. That's how you do it. The strategy's there. Keep going, people, because we're going to get there.
I love your passion, Daddy Dragon. You're the best. All right, guys, we've got some breaking news, and it's going to make you guys smile. Now, the sauce for this is the Daily Beast. So, of course, until we hear more about this, just take this with a grain of salt. But apparently, and this is coming out of the Daily Mail, more trouble for Joe Biden as Ukrainian lawmaker claims second laptop belonging to Hunter's business contacts in the country have been seized by law enforcement. The main points here: Andriy Derkach posted to Facebook on Friday to say there is a second laptop. In the post, Derkach says that the laptop was given to Ukrainian law enforcement. These are not the last witnesses or the last laptop, he warned in the post. Rudy Giuliani, the president's personal lawyer, has said foreign sources did not provide the Hunter Biden emails first reported last week. Derkach is one of Giuliani's principal contacts. A Treasury Department sanctioned announcement characterized him as an active Russian agent for over a decade. So I'm sure they're going to use, Schiff and all them are going to use that to say, oh, it's Russian disinformation. Last week, the New York Post published emails and photographs that the outlet claimed were contained on a laptop owned by Hunter Biden, which we've already covered. Messages suggested that Hunter had arranged for a top executive at Burisma to meet his father when he was VP and in charge of U.S. policy with Ukraine. So I think the main takeaway of this is supposedly there's a second laptop. Law enforcement in Ukraine have it, and let's see if we can get that over here to Rudy Giuliani or maybe to the press, and let's get it all released. This is the part where other people start talking.
No, I hate that. I thought breaking or Daddy would say something there because of what it's about. Breaking or you.
Oh, also, the person I got this from, I want to give him a shout out and kind of a hat tip. Hulkinator. Hulkinator, if you're out there, thank you very much for tagging us in this. It's a big story, man.
And I'll say thank you to Anon Mojo, who dropped a $20 super chat and said, thanks for being you sticker. So thank you. I appreciate it. She's also like a tier 3 channel member. Mojo's pretty awesome. So we appreciate it. What were you going to say, Breaking?
The only thing I was going to say is perhaps people on drugs should not be around computers.
Yeah. That and Daddy might have more. There might have been more truth to what Daddy said than we knew when he came out and said, is there 3 laptops? We knew about 3 hard drives, but here's the number 2 dropping.
And I think you're am I there? Yeah. You're seeing it now coming out. So again, I only repeat what I read, and I remember certain things that come out. So you're actually seeing. I think there's a lot more that's going to hit. I think this is just minor. What's coming out now? You're going to see a lot of stuff coming out.
So I guess I have to ask yet another question here to ponder. Do you think by Pompeo coming out and saying, "Oh, we've got the Hillary emails and we're going to start releasing them," do you think that was just a smokescreen, or do you think that's actually legit and it's just going to really compound things for the DNC as a whole, whatever is left of it?
That's a great point. And another thing that has oddly gone quiet is the Benghazi bombshell, the Alan Perot, Clowns in America whistleblower, who is going to be bringing out apparently terabytes worth of shocking evidence against the Bidens and the Obama administration, basically as a whole. That's kind of gone quiet lately too, hasn't it? And alongside the emails, I mean, does all of this tie together and it's just being coordinated and released? I don't know. It's such a complex thing to think about, right?
Well, I'd say the October surprise is definitely upon us, and I think we're on the winning side of it. Regardless of them trying to deplatform us on whatever platforms we're on, they've already lost that battle. We're well ahead of them, and there's not much that they can really do because we have had such a what's the word I want to use? A head on us, I guess. We've gotten ahead of them so far. They're playing catch up to all this, and there's not much they can do. They lie by omission. They lie by misinformation, disinformation, propaganda across the networks. And they think people, if they don't report it, they're just not going to figure it out. And if they think they can just bury it via Google search or whatever your favorite search engine is, think again. These people know the names of the websites to go to. The only way I see them stopping anything from coming at this point is a total shutdown of the internet. And I don't see that happening.
You could be right there. I don't know whether or not they would shut that. They have the power to shut down the internet. It's not difficult. You just remove all the main routers. You just in BGP terms, Border Gateway Protocol, which is how the internet works. You just black hole the whole thing, or just switch off them routers, and the whole thing will go down. The problem with that is you will take all commerce down. You will take all commerce that's currently operating over the internet, which is most of it. You will take down payment systems. You will take down literally everything now that we rely on. So, bearing in mind what also happened, and I want to take you back to something our favourite Anon said. He said that President Obama was going to sell the, and I can't remember the American name for it, but someone out there will tell us, and it was the domain name servers. Well, in America, there is a hierarchy one that covers all and everyone, and that's where the domain name servers. So, in other words, when you put in www.twitter.com, it is linked to a domain name server, and that's how people communicate. What's actually associated with that domain name is an IP address. But if Obama was going to give a private corporation access or control of that system, that would have meant, and it's currently why that my website is still running, because they can't remove my domain from the DNS, right? Whereas if it had gone to a corporation and Obama had done what he wanted to do with that, every one of our websites could be removed at any time. And the only way people would know how to get there is if they are fairly technical and know how to just put an IP address in a browser to get to that site. So there's lots of things there technically. I don't know, but one dangerous situation was with Obama wanted to push that whole system and the registration of domains to corporations rather than it being, within, if you like, the government sphere as a not-for-profit. I don't know what you think about that.
Well, and I seem to recall certain posts in that describing that a black eye would prevent the takedown of the internet as well. Maybe about 2 years ago, I think we were made aware, as Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and that were being dismantled. So I think that's probably their plan of last resort. But I think, again, with us, what are we, about 16 days out now, 15 days out? 16 days out. I think it's already too late for them.
Yeah. No, well, I don't I don't disagree with that. Pixels. Oh, by the way, when you put your picture up, your standing picture, is that of your dinner?
So it's an old inside joke because Seasoned Pixels. When I first joined PSB, I think it was Thumper. He had a hard time saying Seasoned Pixels, and it came out as Seasoned Pickles. So that's what I decided to set my little picture there too, just as a
Seasoned Pickles.
And they're seasoned pickles. Love it.
Hey, you guys want to see something totally like it'll make you go a Whiskey Tango Foxtrot?
Sure.
I don't know what I just watched, but I have to share it with you guys. And Methods out there, Methods found it. I think Adam Schiff is broken, guys. I think that he's finally come around to realize that nothing he says, and no matter how loud and how repeatedly he screams Russia, it's not going to work. Because I think that's the only way you can describe this behavior right here.
You should see my TikTok dance. No. Come on. You just got to see it. You should see my TikTok dance.
Please, I think we got to get back on the rails, okay? Adam, here's the thing. We just need to make sure.
Jed, Congressman Schiff, please.
I'm sorry. Congressman Schiff.
I've got another idea. I'm also very good at ventriloquism.
Yeah, let's see.
Knock, knock, Jed.
Who's there?
Democracy.
Democracy who?
Democracy go bye-bye if you don't make a plan to vote right away. You couldn't even see my lips move, could you?
Do you have a phone number for Nancy Pelosi or Katie Porter?
Is this your card?
I didn't pick a card.
I'm pretty sure this is your card.
Sir,
wait. One more thing. A great way to get the point across about iwillvote.com is through music. So let me just fire this thing up. Okay, here we go.
No, please don't. Please.
You should.
You know what he's trying to do. Number one, he's trying to be funny, which is he's not successful at it.
It just comes off as really creepy.
He's trying to make himself look more human and relatable because he's not. And he's like, yes, that's real.
Is that real? I thought it was some morphed thing where they put his face on someone else doing it.
It was definitely
no, that's his attempt to be a comedian.
We could only hope that was a deep fake.
What is going on?
Because he's lost. I mean, again, he's just, it's like you said, he's lost it. He's trying to be relatable. It's like when Hillary Clinton did that, she did that radio show, and the song that was popular during that time was Beyonce's Hot Sauce in My Purse, and freaking Hillary Clinton shows up and it's like, look, I got hot sauce in my purse. Or it's like Joe Biden talking to Nikki, what's her name? It's not Nicki Minaj, it's whatever her name is, talking to the woman that's a rapper that he doesn't even know who she is. And it's because it's amazing to me that, they're so transparent. Like, that's him trying to be relatable. And that's how creepy it came across.
Gary Bridges out there says, I thought I was tripping through that.
Yeah, Cardi B. Thank you, Don.
Here's another question for you. I just saw a notification come up here about this. I think a vote may be coming to the House here to try and strip Nancy Pelosi of her speakerdom. What do we think will happen with that? Is that smoke and mirrors, you think, Republican ploy, or do you think there's enough Dems to advance that and enough dissension in the ranks based on her unwillingness to compromise as part of this package deal with POTUS?
I really don't know. I think that something like that, I just don't see it happening. It's one of those things where, like, I'd believe it when I see it. You know what I mean? But speaking of Pelosi, more crap from Pelosi. Pelosi gives White House 48 hours to agree to COVID stimulus deal, which I'm sure it's packed with stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with COVID. So, that's still going on ad infinitum.
Well, did you see that thing that the body language lady, the ghost body language woman, did about Pelosi and Wolf Blitzer when he was asking her about the stimulus package? He gave it to her. And if somebody on like CNN is going to give it to Pelosi, it's like, why don't you just sign the one that they came out with? Even Dems are telling you should sign it to help the American people. And she doesn't know. It's like she short circuits. She can't believe CNN's actually asking her a hard question. And she just gets defensive. She throws insults at him. And it's just, it is what it is. It's what these people do. They don't care about the American people. They care about power.
Absolutely. And also, we have something coming out of Breitbart here. This will be a big shocker for you guys. Bush staffers go all in for Joe Biden with campaign ads attacking Trump. So the Rhino family themselves, they're going all in for Joe Biden. Big shocker, man. And it blows me away that there's actually still some conservatives out there who want like a Bush back or something. These rhinos, they still trust them somehow, and they think these are the people that like, oh, I hate Donald Trump's personality, so I won't vote for him. I want somebody like Mitt Romney or the Bushes. It's absolutely ridiculous because these people, through their actions, have shown that they are not conservatives. They're fake conservatives, as Daddy Dragon said back in the day when he crashed that event. That was fantastic, by the way. When I saw that, I was cracking up. It was amazing. But it's just these people are they're just as bad as the Democrats. They just put on a mask and act like they're not. I don't know.
Okay, I got it. Jen R gave 2 lemons in D Live. Jen R gave another lemon in D Live. Queen Fisher Arian gave a lemon in D Live. I'm going to say your name right. Chlora QW33N gave 1 lemon, a diamond. Thumper Rose came back and gave a diamond and ice cream. Like, holy crap. Thanks, guys. I got to remember because I only have this one screen to go over and check it. So thank you for the D Live. D Live's pretty cool if you get used to it, really. But I just wanted to make sure I got that in.
Some people out there are saying that that video of Schiff that I showed wasn't real, and I don't know if it was real or not. I couldn't tell you. I didn't have time to vet it or look into it. I just I saw it in Discord and thought it was funny and wanted to show it to you guys. So take it with a grain of salt. I don't know if it was real or not, but it certainly looked like Schiff was saying those things, and it was him. So I don't know.
Yeah, usually if they're going to do a fake face, they don't move around that much because it's so hard to implant the face on them that if they move around too much, you can see it blur around the edges. So as much as he was moving around, it would be hard to see as how they could fake that. And I think Daddy says he's about to fall out. And I know he got like 10 minutes till the top of the hour. So if y'all wanted to, and I know Pixels and stuff, he had brought stuff he wanted to share.
I've got one more story here from the Epic Times, and I'm going to ask Daddy Dragon to pull it up as well because I'm still behind that paywall. Apparently, the FBI has obtained the Hunter Biden computer with data on Ukraine dealings, and this was just released just now. I just saw it pop up on Feedly.
Let me see if I can share it. Where are we? Screen 3. Was that the last one? Is this the last one or the same one? Tell me if I've got it wrong.
You got it. That's it.
Okay. Do you want me to play that video or not?
No, don't play the video. Let's just go through the article here.
Right. Do you want me to read it out?
Yeah, go ahead.
FBI obtains Hunter Biden's computer with data on Ukraine dealings. With the US presidential election only 20 days away, a big October surprise emerged when Hunter Biden's alleged email communications with a Ukraine energy company were exposed by the US media, along with numerous photos and videos of the young Biden. The US Senate has been involved in the investigation. An exclusive report from the New York Post on Wednesday exposed 3 of Hunter Biden's alleged emails. One of them was dated April the 13th, 2014, the time frame when Hunter just joined the board of Ukrainian natural gas company Burisma. In an alleged email to the board members of the company, Hunter mentioned his father several times, using Joe Biden's influence to negotiate a higher salary for himself. Hunter's salary at Burisma was reportedly up to $50,000 a month. In another alleged email, Vadim Poloski, an advisor to the board of Burisma, asked Hunter for advice on how he could use your influence to help the company. In an email dated on April 2015, Polonsky thanked Hunter for giving him the opportunity to meet with Joe Biden in DC. These exposed emails contradict Joe Biden's previous claim that he had never spoken to his son about Hunter's overseas business dealings. In 2016, 1 year after Joe Biden met with Pelosi, Biden pressured government officials in Ukraine into firing Viktor Shokin, a prosecutor who was leading corruption investigations into Burisma and its founders. Biden achieved this by threatening to withhold $1 billion in aid. Within 6 hours, if the prosecutor is not fired, you are not getting the money. Expletive. They are fired. After being sacked, Shokin revealed that suspects on his investigation list included Hunter Biden. The emails exposed by the New York Post all came from a laptop with a Bew Biden Foundation sticker on it. It was sent to a computer repair shop with water damage, but no one came to pick it up. Later, the shop owner decided to notify the FBI. In December of last year, the FBI obtained the hard drive of the laptop, while former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani had obtained a copy of the hard drive prior to the FBI's seizure. On the same day these emails were disclosed by the media, the US Senate's Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee began an investigation. The chairman of the committee, Ron Johnson, said that his team has been in contact with the person who provided the emails. After the emails published on Wednesday created a stir, Giuliani revealed on Twitter that there is much more to come. Now, that's the end of that article. Anyone can go and read that. There's a video there as well. Just to let you know as well, this has also been stated. Let me pull that off the screen, and I'll just remind everyone that some of the things that Twitter have been saying is that this information was hacked, which is why they are saying they're blocking it. Let me just tell everyone now, the guy that owned the computer shop had a disclaimer and a contract signed with anybody that placed a computer within his control for repair. And that was that once he had worked on that computer, if you didn't come and pick it up within a certain time period, the same as a pawn shop, then you have lost the right to that equipment. And that forces people to come back and pick it up. He sent a number of emails to Hunter Biden and said, I have repaired your property, or I have looked at your property. This is the bill, or whatever he said in those messages. The property wasn't claimed, and just as a standard contract, which stands up in law, that and the data on it now belongs to the owner of the shop. Therefore, it is not hacked. It's his because it's been handed to him, and by contract, he now owns it, not Hunter Biden. Just to make that clear to everyone. Yeah. So remember, there is a contract in place, and it is Rudy, who is a lawyer, who has read that contract and stated that this contract is a standard contract and it stands up in court. End of. Right. So just to let you know.
Very good. Yeah, and that kind of blows out of the water the whole claim by Twitter that, you know, it goes against their policy as being hacked materials, because it's not hacked materials. There's no hack involved in any of this whatsoever. So it's just, you know, I don't know why anybody would buy that.
Exactly that. And it's like someone giving me, you know, if you come and give me an hard disk, it's happened in this country before, they take them into, you know, computer hardware stores, you know, can you repair this? No, I'll keep it then. You know, they start having a look on there. They might check to see if there's any photos that you might want to save. And all of a sudden they'll see these other images. And then they say, hang on a minute, there's, you know, whatever type of pornography or something on there that needs looking at, especially if it's obvious that it would interfere with national security or otherwise. In other words, be a criminal offense of some nature.
And something just popped up into my mind, and I'm half joking here. If there contains on that laptop or on those hard drives any photos or videos of things that happened on Water Island, there's your water damage.
No, I agree with what you just said. It seems very strange that they've actually said water damage. What was going on there? You know, with a laptop, you know, generally wouldn't get to go near a swimming pool. Maybe you were on a yacht. Maybe you were on an island. Something's happened to that device. Why and what happened? That's what we want to know. But they have retrieved that information. And as a favourite Anonymous said, we have it all. So we look forward to seeing even more.
And also, Thumper Rose out there just made a possible connection. Watch the water.
Mentioning Thumper Rose, she gave us another ice cream in D-Live, and then Go Dog Go donated a diamond. So thank you guys for today. Again, it's been crazy with all the support out there with the super chats and the things in D-Live. And again, for all of us, I know that everyone appreciates it. Breaking, did you have anything you wanted to add? I know you're always flipping to the news.
Nope, kind of been out of pocket today. Like I said, had a broadcast earlier today just to kind of test the waters over on Tiger Network. If you haven't had an opportunity, get over and check that out. Chances are we'll probably have to establish ourselves over there with the 5x5 network before long. So look for that here probably in the coming days. You know, we're like I said, we're pretty well equipped on these platforms to handle whatever comes at us, and we'll survive. So come as it may, we'll still be in touch.
And I just want to add to, guys, this channel is not about all of us agreeing. We can disagree and we still respect one another. I will always stand behind my hosts that are here with me. No one will ever tell me to say anything negative about them or shove them off this platform because somebody disagrees with them. And I'm just want to leave that at that. I have a great relationship with the people here, and it goes back and forth with me. So I'm gonna always stand up for these guys, and that's just how it's got to be. And I'll leave it at that. And because I don't have any access to my control room, all three of these guys do. I've been completely locked out of it. I will let you guys take us out as long as Daddy has to say his last thing. And you know how he ends it. You say bye, and then Daddy gets to do his thing. And Pixels or Brandon or whoever, you do your thing. Oh, he's frozen.
No, I haven't.
I was just doing
my joke thing again. Right.
I thought he froze. That was perfect. I was like, oh God, he's frozen.
Right. Just to say thank you for all the donations. It massively helps the show. I'm grateful to all the mods and the people on here at the moment. Just remember, we're just normal, everyday working people. Yeah. I'm a constitutionalist, not a politician. And it's time for me to say bye.